Welcome to Courage on the Rocks, a space where stories flow like a good glass of whiskey. We're two best friends pulling back the curtain on all the conversations that usually happen behind closed doors.
From grief and love to dating, friendship, motherhood, and all the chaos of life in your 30s. We're diving into it all with honesty, humor, and a splash of courage.
This podcast is about real stories, ours, yours, and the incredible people we'll meet along the way. Whether you're here for inspiration, a fresh perspective, or just to hear from someone who gets it, we're glad you're with us.
So grab your favorite drink, hit play, and join us as we navigate the highs, the lows, and everything in between, one episode at a time. Episode 5.
Episode 5.
Cheers.
Here we go. What's up? We're doing it. Hope you guys are enjoying your water. We're still working on this green apple crown stuff from
whiskey.
We liked it so much last episode. We're knocking it back today.
Yep.
Because we're talking about dating on Hinge is what we're talking about.
Online dating. Welcome to episode 5 of online dating.
Of online dating, where you really question your life choices.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
My life choice, her current life choice.
No, you don't question yourself.
Yeah.
You question the
men out there.
The men.
The men out there.
In this world to our left.
Yeah. You can't blame them, though, for everything. But... No.
I can blame the ones I want to blame.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm not salty. What we're referring to here is the trash that just gets pulled into Hinge, into, your profile. The trash that wants to match and make babies with you and live a life with this prize trophy out there.
Okay, well, before we dig a
These
hole,
little motherfuckers.
before we dig ourselves a hole, this goes back to our last episode. We were talking about dating and how we were getting ourselves comfortable and trying new things and introducing Mariah to online dating and the chaos of all that.
Chaos. It's not like chaos.
Yeah.
It's just like...
It's a new world.
Like, ew. Do you have other words?
Ew.
Also, really exciting moments. I've met some really great people. That sounds a little... I've met some good people.
It's a learning curve. You learned a lot about...
There's a learning curve.
Men out there in the 21st century. And you learn about men in your 30s.
Yeah. I'm not super jaded or salty by the experience. Like, I'm still in it and riding that roller coaster. Because nothing like really bad has happened. But it's one of those things. Sorry, your dog is like distracting me.
Ignore him. He's fine.
Okay. I'm still in it. I'm still doing it. But you get more trash than you do anything that's actually worth moving forward with.
Yeah, I remember when I first tried it out, it was very much like just absolute no, maybe no.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Or no, kind of, maybe, no, 1,000 more, no. Oh, after I went through 1,000 people, this right here, you look good.
You look decent.
Why? And then they don't match back with you sometimes,
Yeah.
or they don't respond back.
Yeah.
I
mean, you also have to think about it. There's 7 billion people on this planet, and they all decide to be online.
Yeah, the ones who have not been selected. The ones who have not yet been selected. But there's a lot of reasons for that, obviously. But yeah, so for those of you who have been privileged enough to never have to even go on Hinge before, or who are old, I'm sorry, who are... My parents are like, the fuck? Wow. Or who just haven't had a date in these days.
In 2025, if you haven't had to date.
Yeah, so like Hinge, we're talking about Hinge because that's what I'm on. That's what she was on.
Yeah.
Hinge is an app where the guy or the girl can view profiles and select to like them, right? So if a guy likes my profile, then I get on my end saying, oh, Dave liked you. Mm-hmm. And then I get to review Dave's profile and I get to assess and judge him as quickly as I like, based off of photos, video or prompts, whatever they want. And they have the option of putting a message into there for me to read. And then I can either hit match and match with them, and then they
start
can
a conversation.
Yeah, have a conversation, or I decline and put them right in the trash bucket where they belong, right? So that's kind of that's the process.
Yes, in a nutshell, that's exactly what online dating is. And there's different apps. And I remember when you first started doing it.
Oh, God.
We had tried Tinder and knew that night that was not for you.
Oh, wow. Tinder.
Is not to date.
Wow.
And mind you, Mariah's never done online dating before. So when she was like, I'm going to try this, I'm like, okay, yeah, I've been in that world. I understand that one. Go for it. Have fun.
Yeah, I was like, let me try Tinder. Let me try Hinge. Like, let me just see. I didn't know what I was biting off. I was dipping my toe in.
Yeah.
One example of this I will never forget because I'm like, what in the F? Like, there were two things. One, I was on Tinder and there was a profile of this guy and I sent this picture over to Liana and to Heather because I was like, how is this even happening in the world? What? It was a guy. And the photos were a couple of himself, but mostly were of his, we'll call it his red room. Mm-hmm. Which, if you know what a red room is, that's because you know about 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was his 50 Shades of Grey room that literally had everything. Like,
everything in the red room.
Had like this X thing that I know your arms go like this, your legs get spread out. Like, it's a whole thing. It had its whole whips and chains. And I'm sitting here like, I can barely breathe right now. Like, I'm like, to each their own, right?
Yes.
But also, I don't know what to say in this moment because I'm like, family. I'm like, yeah, to each their own. Tinder is a very casual thing. Tinder is like a one-time thing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Wow. There's some spicy people out there in this world. Really spicy. And spicy's not bad. I don't have a problem with spicy.
A lot of people are comfortable with themselves and comfortable with sharing themselves with
other people that they don't know super well. And that's y'all, we're not judging. Spicy's nice. But I was fucking floored.
You're like, what? This is online dating?
There's the one piece that I was like, oh my God, I can't breathe. This is crazy. And like, I'm kind of low-key freaked out. And then there's that 1% of Mariah that's like, oh, I'm so curious right now.
Let me investigate this.
Do I investigate this further? Yeah. And then absolutely not.
No.
That was one. And then to bump that up like fucking 10 notches was the one where it was like an account.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Oh,
super hot guy. He supposedly, I didn't do my research, I don't know. Supposedly is an author for, what are those books called? Like adult romantic,
adult romance book,
adults,
yeah. Spicy romance
books,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a word for it. I don't know what that word is. I can't remember. Remember that genre?
Yeah.
Anyways, he said he was an author, but he also has this friend group.
Oh my God.
And it's him and two other men who look like models. I mean, like, they look like models. And they were looking for a fourth to join their group. And that fourth had to be a woman.
Yeah.
And they had an Instagram account. And I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'm going to look at that up. Like,
out of curiosity.
I didn't match,
guys.
But I was like, let me look. And I pulled up because I'm just curious. I'm a curious little
Curious
one,
cat. Yep.
Curious cat. And it had reviews from women who were like supposedly that fourth, and they were like blew it out of the water, like, oh my god, that was amazing. My favorite part was the shower with all. I'm reading this like bucket eating popcorn, like, oh my god, this
spicy book,
this
novel.
Is crazy. I'm like, no wonder he can write spicy novels. He lives it in his life, but it was paired with like, we're very dominant men, we will show you what good dominance looks
you will
like.
Listen to us.
You will listen and obey.
No, thank you.
And again,
to each their own.
I'm like sitting with Liana, like, what the fuck? That person in Mariah that's like, oh, so curious.
Beep beep.
But
check it out.
Obviously, I didn't. I'm a one-woman kind of woman.
Yeah.
One
man.
Yeah, one woman myself.
Yeah.
One man kind of woman.
There you go.
But the shit you see, it makes you question who you are.
Yeah. And I think it also shows you, like, a person can be a whole different facade of themselves when they're online.
You can be whoever you want online, and like
Photoshop as some of their best friends.
Yeah. And I mean, the hard part is when you actually pick someone who is a good candidate, right? Mm-hmm. And you go on dates, it's unfortunate because they do lie still. And like it can take a few months to figure out their bullshit, which sucks. Yes. I'm not like that. I will own it. I'm very fucking authentic. There are people like that, but they're very far and few in between.
Yeah. Online dating is not for the faint of heart. Depending on which platform you're on and what you stick to.
And what you're looking for.
What we're looking for, yeah.
So I'm on
Welcome
Hinge.
To Hinge.
I thought it would be funny because, as I've said, whenever I get something, interesting, I'll just screenshot it. Your face, your name, everything. And I'm sending it to that woman. Yeah. Like, look at this shit, right? Yeah. So I'm just going to go through some of the screenshots. We're not sure. We'll share their name, but no photos because there's no way you're going to know who any of these people are.
Yeah.
And some of these are like, wow. And others are like, what the fuck?
Okay, for those of you guys who don't know online dating, in Hinge, they give you a prompt and they answer it to respond back to it. So we're going to be sharing you some of those responses that are supposed to draw Mariah in.
Yeah. Right. So this first one, I'm like, oh, okay. Right.
Yeah.
This person responded to a prompt in which, like, I say, like, I'm a romantic person, blah, blah, blah. Right. And his response to that is, hi, Mariah. You seem to be a beautiful, intelligent woman that possesses a lot of fabulous qualities. It would be an honor in getting to know you. Love, Dorian. Okay. And I remember I sent that to Liana, and she's like, go get it, girl.
Yeah.
Right?
The words were nice.
Dorian is like a 55-year-old black man. And he's buff and big, and I'm not into
55-year-olds.
55-year-olds. Unfortunately,
she just turned 30.
Because if I was, the selection is real good right now, guys. For them 55-year-olds. All right. Next one. This one is from someone named Facial. Whoever your fucking parents are, you fucked up. Like, whoever.
You're so mean.
This is why you don't have. Sorry.
Okay, we're not name shaming you.
Never. I would never.
No. But here's the prompt.
Well, I wouldn't name shame you. Yeah.
But the response.
The response is, wowzers, capital letters. You seem amazing, ... How is such a wonderful and beautiful person still single? Good question. Do you want to know? I hope you decide to message me back, ... Would love to get to know you, ... Pick me, 5 E's. Say yes, 3 S's. And thank you for attending my TED Talk.
Ew.
Bye, Facial.
Ew.
I'm not dating you, Facial.
No.
Now, This one kind of makes me a little sick inside. This one says, from Jim. This is Jim.
Okay.
Jim says, love kids, exclamation mark. I'm sure you do, buddy.
Okay. A lot of people do.
No, this is like a 67-year-old man.
No.
Inappropriately, I'm like, I'm sure you do.
I'm going to keep
Not
my
around
son.
my kid.
Not around my son.
He's like, I love kids, exclamation mark. My main hobbies are flying, especially sailplanes and selling. This makes me sick because Jim looks like my current grandfather named Jim. Like 70-something-year-old.
We're telling you, there's not
Man.
not a lot of good profiles on
All right, another one. I like this one. Hi, Maria. You're a beautiful human. Thank you. Thank you, Matthew. Same name as my brother. I can get past that. But I don't want a 50-year-old man. Still swiping left.
What age range are you putting
Dude,
yourself?
it's at 40. I swear. It's still at 40.
Your cap is at 40?
Yes.
And you're getting
42
55?
maybe. I'm still getting 60-year-olds, Liana.
Oh, Jesus.
I cap it is 30 because I am not going to date a man younger than me.
Yeah.
Because you need to show me you're a man. And it takes time for you to... I like masculinity and dominance and like all that stuff.
We like that in our men.
I do. We do. Anyways, moving on. Yeah.
You know what the scary thing is?
Sorry, not old.
The scary thing is they're accepting people...
Right?
Twice
what
younger
about
than
the 50-year-old women their age?
Yeah.
Right? No wonder 40 and 50-year-olds hate us because their men are going after us.
People in their 20s and 30s.
Want them?
No.
No. 10 years is where I cap at.
Yeah.
Anyways, he's too old. All right. This one I don't understand what's wrong with you people. Ricardo says, you have strong cheekbones and they really compliment your eyes. They remind me of the two strong steel beams of the Twin Towers. Anyways, do you believe 9/11 was an inside job by the U.S. government? Excuse me? Your cheekbones remind me of the strong steel beams of the Twin Towers.
What the?
Do you think that was an inside job, 9/11? Like,
you have to show.
Ricardo.
Oh my.
He doesn't look like he's batshit crazy. That man would murder me in the fucking woods.
A comment like that. That's a red flag if I've ever heard one. Are you serious? Like comparing your cheekbones to steel? And then 9/11 comment? What is wrong with people?
That was a recent one, I'm not gonna lie. Next. I actually thought this one was kind of funny, and I really thought about taking up the offer.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
This is from Cody.
Okay. How old is Cody?
Honestly, it didn't let me screenshot that, but he looks like he's my age.
Okay.
Cody said, I will trade you... Oh, let me rephrase. Cody says, we'll trade you climbing lessons for guitar and drum lessons or handyman work.
Ooh.
So if I teach him climbing lessons because he liked one of my climbing videos, he will offer in return guitar or drum lessons or handyman work. And I'm a single woman. And the handyman work.
I was going to say, you need a bathroom update.
Right.
So.
I was like, I literally sat there like, I could use a bathroom update. Do I want to hang out with someone who I think is kind of creepy? No, I didn't.
You know, they're trying.
He's trying. It was cute.
Yeah,
he's actually not ugly.
Yeah.
Not my type.
No.
Not my type.
No.
Okay. I get older men.
Yeah.
I get 20-year-old fucking babies, right? But
one or the other.
I work with freaking college kids. I supervise them. It's no. Even if I didn't, no. Make that point clear. This one says, from Jonathan. It was a prompt of like, guess which one's a lie, and it says like, I run a science laboratory, I'm a rock climber, I'm a boxer, something like that. And he clicked, I run a science laboratory as the lie, and he said, this isn't the lie, but I think it's code for making crack.
Yes.
Sure.
That's what she does with her.
Sure, you want some, kid? Come get your crack. Anyways,
Science lab equals.
I'm so over people. 2 more. This one is Michael, who was also between like about the 55-year-old range.
Girl.
And he said, I'm not doing anything.
I know. I'm just sorry.
I know. This one says, I taught swing and ballroom dancing professionally.
Oh, cute.
Probably 30 years ago.
Okay. That was cute. Still got the
I
lessons.
got dancing and leading down. I'm also a poet. I write sweet words when I have more characters. Because he ran out of characters. Write them for someone else.
Yeah.
This one got me. His name is Amit.
Amit. Okay.
He's a doctor.
Okay.
I pull in a lot of doctors who are old. Anyways, he said, hey, 4 Ys. Hi, Mariah. Multiple I's in there. Heart. This is Amit. I'm an ER doctor by profession. I came across your profile and, oh boy, I love it so far and would like to get to know you. So if COVID-19 hasn't taken you out yet, then can I?
Oh.
Also, how fucked up are you to be an ER doctor throwing a fucking COVID-19 joke about killing people?
He's taking you out.
And he's fucking ugly. Also.
But was that like currently?
As in just happened?
Yeah.
No, this was like a little bit a while ago. No, this was more recent to COVID ending.
Oh my God.
Not even, but like.
Yeah, but still.
But how fucking, get your license removed. Like how, seriously, you made a joke like people, that to try and pull someone in. I can't. I had another doctor who was like, it's not on here, but he was basically like, on his profile said like, hey, I'm not gonna be anyone's sugar daddy, you know, like I make good ass money, I'm not gonna be your sugar daddy. And then when he matched with me, he's like, I will be your sugar daddy. Let me be your sugar daddy. Yeah. I'm like, no, you're gross.
Yeah, it depends. Online dating, yeah, it can prove so much about the people
what's out there.
What's out there. You know, the scary thing is, you know, if you were a guy in this role, the profile of what women puts out there, I mean, they must be just as scared as we are.
Honestly, I'd be super curious.
Right? Let's make a profile. Be a guy.
We can just ask.
Right?
I can ask my current person.
Oh, yeah. Just curious. But can we borrow his picture? It's scary. It's so scary of like how quick someone could do that, right? Put the profile up there.
Oh, you can make it so quick. You can have real pictures of you, fake pictures of you. Hinge does ask you if you want to verify it. You can verify that it's who you are, and then your profile shows as verified. Mm-hmm. Like these pictures match this person.
Yeah.
But even then, I find less that it's not about meeting someone who doesn't match their profile picture. Mm-hmm. That's always happened. Huge controversy here, but the men who say they're above 6 foot and they ain't 6 foot.
Yeah.
I've had that, and I'm like, why are you the same height as me? I'm so confused. I thought you were like 6'1" or 6, but you're not even 6'8". I'm 5'7". Sorry, I'm 5'7". You're not even 5'8". Like,
yeah.
Like, how?
They try to find ways to reel them in.
Okay, I will say that that's accurate because, like, if you're not above a certain height, 99.9% will not swipe on you or like your profile.
Yeah.
Right? But there are short kings out there. I am a taller woman.
Yeah.
And I like hills, and I want to look up at you. And we'll leave it there. We'll leave it at that. Yeah. But also it's, really that's only happened once. Because oddly, everyone I'm like matched and been on dates with, they're all tall fucking people. Like they're like been 6'3", 6'4", 6'2", 6'1". Like I really like that.
Yeah, that's one thing you're attracted to.
Yeah, I'm very attracted to that. Yeah.
And profiles, they allow you to go through that quickly.
Yeah, they
Filter
do. Which there's
quickly.
other things that like you'll filter through, which I think we'll give an example here pretty soon. But for me, the biggest difference is something that doesn't match their profile is men not matching their words, right?
Yes.
So they'll say things to you. I had no idea. I did not understand how. I didn't understand that people would lie to your face to get you to date them. And then
like to reel you in,
that
you
and you're
date.
like, oh yeah, we do align. Wow, I really like this. Yeah. And then a few dates in, and you're going, and you're like, I'm so confused. I thought you said this. Why are you doing this? You said that doesn't match. That is starting to get me jaded because I'm like, I'll filter really good, and I'm like so intentional about it, and then I'm like, why weren't you being completely honest with me?
Yeah.
Because now I feel like I'm wasting my time.
But also, it just proves that they have ulterior motives.
Yeah.
For something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, for other things that like you have no interest in.
Yeah.
Or no time to waste into them.
They know how quick I'll be like, oh, thank you, but next.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh no. Yeah. I'll tell her this now, and I'll turn into that man. You don't turn into the man. Are you kidding me? No, I want you to be like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Work on it.
Yeah.
Improve it.
Yeah.
Prove that you're working on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we're gonna pull up my Hinge because I have 40 likes on here, which is it's a lot right now.
That's a good thing.
But we're only gonna go through a couple, just because it's funny as fuck. So we have Alex, who is a bald man, 5'10", 40 years old, and
Christian.
I'm just gonna X him just for that photo. He looks fucking ridiculous. Miguel didn't even cross the cut. Like, he didn't even make the cut. Jonathan, how old do you think he looks? Oh my God. He's in his 50s. Told you. Yeah. Thank you. No thanks.
Thanks, but
thank you. Next. Shane, I'm not even gonna scroll. I can't do that face. No. Give it a second, Ozzy. Okay, 27. That's low. 5'10", also low. That's not bad.
We won't argue with
a full
shirtless
6-pack.
6-pack.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
I'm like,
currently planning on matching on anybody. I know currently I was like,
we're gonna say no.
Yeah.
X that one. Don't get in trouble.
That's what we did.
That's exactly. Oh, okay.
I wasn't expecting this.
Okay.
We need to stop.
No, definitely not.
I am currently seeing someone, but we're not exclusive yet, and that conversation has not been discussed.
As for doing this live.
And I did not expect to have actually hot people. I was expecting trash. So if you're watching this and you are dating me,
you know who you are.
You know to have that conversation, sir. Okay? That is a man's conversation, in my opinion.
As her best friend, I'm not going to say no to that until we have a conversation.
The opportunities that present themselves are still opportunities, right? And I will take them.
Yeah. Except for actually genuinely this one's a no. No.
Yeah. Why? We're not 22. That's enough.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
And anytime somebody says that you want to roast on your ex, that's a red flag. Yeah, roast. I don't want to roast anyone. Yeah,
my God. Other red flags. I saw one that was like, for a woman to show me she's like, I can trust her with my kids. I'm like,
excuse me?
What the fuck did you experience in your life? Like, no.
Like, you haven't gone to therapy yet?
You're talking about an ex now, and I don't want her gone, right? Tommy. 5'7", though. You see? God. I can't do it. Nope. There we go. Sometimes it just takes one good photo.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, men, like, if you're really searching for, like, something, if you're really on there, like...
Yeah, looking,
make sure your photos are on point, or at least remotely close.
Yeah.
Like, don't put just any photo up there. because if you look really bad in one photo, I'm not gonna get past that.
Yeah.
Like women,
especially since we've never met.
And women I put a lot of effort into my profile.
Mm-hmm.
Like I put effort in. I want to be clear. I like beautiful,
intentional, and all of those photos.
And you can't even take a good fucking photo.
Yeah.
Right? To let me assess what our children would look like.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I agree. There was one profile, Chris's profile, the one where he was like just muscular and fit, and I was just like, yeah, that worked. That was a yes. There's like a good one.
Really close to the bone right there.
And then there's one photos where you may think you look good, but vet it through with your friends, please.
Your female friends.
Yes. Yeah.
But the ones who aren't going to be like, oh yeah, you're a 7, you look good. No. The ones who be like, you look fucking ugly and not like you're
the truth tellers.
The truth tellers.
Ask your sisters. They will tell you the truth.
Your sisters. All right, Miguel gave me all heart eye love emojis. And yeah, thank you. Sometimes it just takes simple pleasures, clean sheets.
Oh, okay. We're gonna say no to that one too.
Oh wait, what did you do? Are you sure? I wasn't ready for that. We're literally matching her as as the person that I'm casually dating. Just messaged me.
I mean, yeah.
We just
okay. Moving on.
Wow, what is happening?
Okay.
Oh, I can't do that though.
Yeah,
there are certain religions that are completely against what I believe in.
Yes.
I won't do that.
That's true too.
Regardless of how, wow, this kid looks like he's 12. What's up with the men who are like, oh, I'm 30, and I'm like, you're 18. Not. You are 18. Yeah. What's happening there?
Oh, should we show this? Okay.
Show him?
No.
What? Oh.
Put this up.
Okay, so this is
voice recording.
So they allow you to do voice recordings. This one is of a prompt. It says, a dream home must include, and then you get to hear the guy's voice, which I think is really nice.
Okay, let's see.
So here's one.
A wraparound deck and a great view of the mountains.
Got it. Okay. I know so much about you now. 45-year-old. Fucking no to that face.
No, but like, add a little bit more to it. When you're gonna do those voice record, like, and a beautiful woman like you next to me, or something like.
We're rocking on our outdoor chair, But then also,
silence.
God, there are some photos where I'm like, absolutely not. It just takes all 2 seconds. Although, it's just so funny. One guy, I remember, I'm gonna stop here because. I think I might get in trouble. Actually, I'm not gonna get in trouble. Mm-hmm. If you got something to say, you're gonna say it to my face, buddy. With all the respect in the world. Anyways, there was one where he sent me a like, and his text me was, oh God, I wish I had it. Something like, you must be the best snack in your kitchen. And I was like, that was actually pretty good. I will take that.
Yeah.
It did not match though.
No.
Because he was not super pretty.
It's just interesting, like, as you go through something like this, again, just, I think you're more aware of, how confident you are in yourself and, relying on your instinct to know the rights and wrongs. Because, we as female, we know, we have those instincts, that one worked, or, ooh, no, this needs to stop. And through your journey, you've been really good about that.
Well, it's so interesting because, I have been. Because when I first started, I didn't know anything, and I was like this baby bird that just was
a little lamb to the slaughterhouse.
Yeah, literally a little lamb to the slaughterhouse is freaking accurate.
Yeah.
And it was as simple as learning just through how they messaged me was what was red flags versus what wasn't red flag, red flags versus green flags, or just being able to analyze their profile, red flag versus green flag. Because profiles, guys there's one of 2 ways. One, they just went and created it super fast. They have 2 words on a prompt. sometimes they don't even do words. They put just dots, and they're just looking to fuck someone, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's bare bones. And I'm like, I see that, and I'm like, you're wasting my time. Goodbye. You don't even get a second thought, right?
Yeah.
And then you have guys who put like a little bit more detail in it. But then you have the men who really just like tell you exactly what they're looking for, and they put some meat on those bones, right? Of building it out.
Effort in there.
Effort, and they use words like passion, building a life. They're verbalizing this dream life that they want to have with this woman. And so when I see that, green flag, bam. Now do you meet my other requirements?
Yeah.
Are you kind of at least above 5'10" or above, please?
Yeah.
Right.
Other criteria,
5'10" above? Yeah. Okay, cool. Are you between 30 and
40?
42? Right? If you're extra hot, you make me question.
Give
what
a couple
my
more
limit is.
years.
Right?
Yeah.
Different things like that, does the relationship that they're seeking, does it say like, casual friends with benefits, or does it say like, looking for my lifetime teammate, right? Those are two different things, right? So like, one, just even being able to learn what exactly am I looking for, and like how is that being shown onto their profiles.
Oh yeah, and how to filter through all that.
How to filter.
Yeah, I agree. It's hard. It's rough, like going through it and knowing your intuition and knowing what their true intentions are and how much vulnerability, like as a person, giving them the opportunity as a date, and then like what does that look like?
Yeah, I think it's interesting because like for a lot of that, you have to go a little bit into it to actually know, which it sucks in that sense, because you're like, okay, they have to get vetted enough for you to even potentially go on a date. And for me, if there's a date being discussed, then I want to do a FaceTime call or some type of like video chat. And almost every single person that I've actually gone on a date with has video chatted me, because I want to see your face. I want to know your personality.
Yeah.
I want to see if there's a vibe there. And if you can pass the vibe check, we can move on. Yeah. Right? And then we can have a first date. Yeah. And then if a first date goes well, then you have a second date, right? Yeah. And if that goes well, next, right? Yeah. But there comes a point, and I always have seen this, it's like you get to date number 4, and then they're like, can I lock you in now? I want to lock you in. And in the past, I've been like, okay, I don't know what that really means, but like exclusive or something. Yeah. Okay. And then you go past that, and then that's when I start to see, oh, you're not being super honest. They're like, oh, I'm seeing the true you, and I don't really like that as much. Yeah, like the things that you were hiding from me is now coming to light. Your words was not matching your action, now that we're going to put a title on it. Exactly. Yeah. So like I recently talked to you about like, hey, like I'm approaching day number 4. I have weird feelings on this because like in the past, men are like, hey, I'm locking this in, right? But I do think there's a difference between being exclusive, which I appreciate, because I don't want to share you with someone else, and I don't want to share myself with someone else. I'm talking about like, it could be physical aspects, but I'm not talking about, it's not just that. It's just like
sharing your life with someone right now.
Yeah, like if I'm choosing to go past 4 dates with you, then we're talking about like, okay, is this something that can be serious? And if you're thinking about that, I don't need you thinking that with another 2 women or another woman. Like, no, if you're in that room with me, you're only thinking about that with me and vice versa, so you can have that attention. Yep. And then know for sure. And then if you keep moving forward, cool. If not, done next. But at least you're focused. Yeah. And there's a level of respect there for me.
Yeah. And also it just proves that like you respect everybody else's boundaries, and you respect my boundaries of understanding like, okay, you and I are having this conversation because you know that I'm not going to be talking to anyone else. Yeah. And I need you to know that like, I need to know that you're not talking to anyone else.
Yeah, like, you're not having those deeper conversations.
Yeah, how meaningful is it that if you're going to have those conversations with 4 other women?
Yeah, how meaningful is that? Right? It's not. Plus, if like, because by date 2 to 3 at least, you've at least kissed. Right? Yeah. And so I'm not going to be kissing more than one person. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to be talking to different people and then kissing those different people all within like a similar time span.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Right? So like,
that's not you.
Yeah, some people might, cool, you do you, but if you choose to be with me or engage with me, then that's my standard, right?
Yeah.
But that's a process of dating, is you have to get through those stages and things start becoming clearer. But even to get to the stage of a first date, there's all these requirements that you're like, okay, do you check these boxes? Cool. You know, are you even, if there is a date planned, did you plan that date? Right? Did you execute that? Did you reach out ahead of time that day to make sure it's secured?
Yeah.
Right? At the end of the day, did you follow up to make you know with a message? Right?
Yeah.
Like
all this reassurance,
watching what they're doing, because it's a really clear example of who they're going to be. Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is. It's a lot as someone who went through years of trying to navigate this kind of understanding of online dating and what the person that enters into your life looks like. And you're right, like those third, fourth, fifth date, you're like, what the hell? What's going on?
Yeah.
Why are you starting to show certain aspects that was not on the profile or was not what we had been talking about for the past 3 other dates?
Yeah.
You know, it's just evident. And also, like, once you start sharing that person with your family and your friends, and then we start seeing things, we're like, Mariah, like, what was that about?
Yeah, and you're like, I don't fucking know who that was.
I was like, okay, we're gonna, chalk this up to learning curve.
Yeah, learning curve. Yeah. But also like giving yourself grace through the process. Yeah. For sure. And I think if we talk about like, we've kind of taken this whole approach as like anyone dating during this time, but then like switching it to like anyone dating during this time, but who is also a widow or who's lost a partner. Like that adds an entire layer to it.
And then the person across the table who's hearing from it, if they're not strong enough to take that, if they're not strong enough to handle that information, then that was like a goodbye.
Oh, yeah. And sometimes I didn't even have to say goodbye. Sometimes they were just like, oh, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, a lot of times, I'll match and then we'll start messaging and they'll be like, oh, so, like, this is how I always say it is, so what's your custody arrangement with your son? Like, how much time do you have with him? They're not trying to get details on that. They're trying to see what the dynamic is.
Of like your baby daddy.
My baby daddy. Yeah. And that's when I always have to say, oh, you know what, like, I actually have him full time. His dad unfortunately passed away, blah, 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 right? There's a spill. And for the first few months of like online dating, having to do that spill one after another, and having to deal with their responses and all this bullshit. And at first I was like, so nervous. I sent it. I don't know how they're going to respond. Not because I care about that person. Yeah. It's my life. And like they're attaching this thing to me. And in some way it is attached to me. But at the same time, I am not this death. I am a completely, I am my own person. Right.
Yeah, you are your own story
to have
too.
That. Yeah. And, sometimes it'd be like, oh man, that sucks. I'm sorry. Bye. They're gone. And I'm like, cool, I don't want you to begin with, right? I don't want you to stay if you're like that.
If you could not handle that story, then like, why would I give you a date?
There's a lot of men who are like that, right? Yeah. And so like for a long time it was like, oh, no, right? Or it was like, I didn't like their response and I was like, no, I'm good, right? Yeah. So either they would be like, oh, I'm good, and then like would unmatch, or I would be like, oh, I don't like that response, so I'm gonna match with you, know. But I every single person I date, or not even date, I'm talking about matching, right? Yeah. Because before you even get to date one, this always comes up every single time. Yeah. And how I feel doing it now is so different than how I felt a few months ago and the months before that, right? Yeah. Like with the person that I'm seeing right now, there's no title there. I'm not saying there needs to be one or it doesn't need to be. I'm letting that be. I just want to be clear on that. I've just been going on dates with an individual, but it was the first time ever where, one, I actually told that person over the phone before everyone had just texted me and we were in this texting conversation.
Yeah.
So it was really weird to, one, do that. And like I did in such like a calm, like owning it and just like really verbalizing it and adult way, you know. And it was trippy because it's real time and this man is not expecting me to say this out loud. And he has to respond in seconds versus a text message where you can wait as long as you fucking want.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas a phone call, you cannot wait. You have to have words, find words immediately, and verbalize that.
Yeah.
And he actually responded really well, which was something like pretty much like, you know, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
I can't really find the right words for it. Like, I hear you and I'm sorry, and like something like that, right?
That is a better response than like no response.
That's a better response than no response.
Yeah.
That's a better like
way to acknowledge it.
Right? And acknowledging like, hey, I don't have the right words right now, so please don't like judge me on that. Like I'm processing. And I think he said he's like, I'm processing that, you know. I don't blame you. Right? If roles were reversed, I'd sit there like, what the fuck do I say right now?
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's a lot.
Yeah, like I mean, you've had almost 2 years to process through this. And all this, and he's got a phone call.
And seconds.
And what do you think about that?
Yeah. And then, but in his head, I think one of the things he said was like, basically that like, that was not the situation he thought I was in. And I was like, I get that. Everyone thinks that I am either divorced or I, you know, wasn't married when I had my kid, and that person doesn't want to be a part of his life.
Yeah.
No one that I've ever talked to has been like, oh yeah, I assumed his dad passed away.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
no, because
especially
not for someone
my age. God, no.
Someone as young as you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but being able to like move forward and like be so much more comfortable in having those conversations. I don't hide it. Like I can actually like sit there and have a conversation. Like I just recently did that. Of like, he asked me what happened and I told him what happened and we were able to have a genuine conversation. I remember one time with someone that I was going on dates with, it was date number 2. And I already told him, you know, that Jorge passed away and, you know, we're sitting there eating like brunch or something. Jorge came up and was like, oh, I think it came from me. It was like, oh, basically like, I didn't say it like this, but like, do you want to know what happened or something like that?
Yeah.
And his response was, oh, I already know. And I was like, what do you mean you already know? He's like, oh, I already researched it. Oh, and I was like, one, not expecting that. 2, my heart dropped. And in my head, immediately, I was like, fuck you. Like, fuck you for taking my story, my narrative, everything, and not even allowing for it to come from me.
Yeah.
But you went and did that. Like intentionally so you could know that. And like he's like basically it was like he wanted to prepare and didn't want to force me to have to restate that, right? And there's like a hint of like I get that, but as the person who went through it, this is my fucking story. Right? Like I don't want you're gonna take away the opportunity for me to share with you who could potentially be a partner, right? And said you didn't even give me that. You took that from me. And I remember sitting there like really pissed off about it, but I didn't say anything.
Of course.
Because I was like so shocked, like, oh, I don't know how I feel right now, but I'm not happy. Like that felt like you just muzzled me or something. You know?
Silenced you.
And like you took away all opportunity for conversation. Right? Versus the person that I'm seeing at the moment, like we were able to have he asked, we had a whole conversation. It was the only person that I've actually talked to who even opened up that door for me and sat in that space with me and brought emotion to it in a way that like I didn't have to take care of them, but it was such a mutual thing. And I appreciated that in ways that I never got to experience before. I haven't got to experience before, right? So but I don't know those things until I go through these people, the process, and then all the different experiences, and then I, you know, step away from that person and this thing, and I really work through that to understand like what happened there? How did it affect me or my grief?
Yeah.
Did I like that? Was that a red flag for me?
Yeah. It's really interesting hearing you, verbalize your dating life now, because in our previous episodes, we were talking about just the space of putting yourself into that first date and having that conversation of, I am not going to talk about the one thing that happened to me. Like that episode was all about like, I cannot reveal this horrific thing that happened to my life because I'm experiencing something that is bringing me so much anxiety right now.
Yeah.
Like just the idea of going on a first date.
Yep.
And look at the time and the process and like how you have grown from that very first date to now you're able to share with people who either have heard of your story or haven't heard of your story and being okay with it. Taking control of that narrative, taking control, like, that is my story, I'm going to share it. And you've healed yourself in a sense of like, you become more kinder to yourself of allowing yourself to share your story. Because if they didn't hear the story, it's like them hiding those little secrets.
100%.
So if you have to share it to go through it, you have to be able to share it because they won't know the true Mariah and all the shit you had to do to get to that date.
Right.
So look at that huge growth from Yosemite to now of being comfortable enough to share that story with someone else. So way to do it. Still working on them. So good.
Having courage, right?
Having courage. Yeah. I like it. Good job. Cheers to
Cheers
you.
to that. Cheers
and
to me.
dating. And online dating.
Online.
May it be
I'm like, do I want to cheers to that? Cheers, online dating.
May it be the last one.
Oh, God.
No pressure. Anything.
Wow. Anxiety through the roof. That one, we're cutting that.
Drinking.
Episode 5. Cheers to that.
Cheers to episode 5. There you go. Thanks for tuning into Courage on the Rocks.
Until next time, hold on to your courage and we'll see you soon. Cheers.